Hi there. Today we are going to talk about one of the biggest updates in the Express entry that just took place. And one of the biggest things that has been disclosed by the Honorable Immigration Minister, Sean Fraser, is that Canada will conduct category-based draws as of this summer. Now, this is a huge update. Since the start of Express entry expression interest management system in January of 2015, there have been different updates over the period of time. And this was one last, I would say, piece that was missing from this puzzle, where the Canadian government was not able to draw candidates from the express entry pool based on their NOCs. Now, with the change of the law, when C-19 became the law last year, it received the royal assent. We were awaiting this update that when would this actually be rolled out and brought into the express entry domain. Now this has already happened. The government has shown the nuts and bolts of how this would happen. With that, they've also basically provided the snapshot of what kind of categories they are going to be targeting this year. And one of the key elements that they have talked about is that they are sourcing information from Service Canada, the LMIAs that are getting processed, from the provincial government's labor market informations, the statistics, NGOs, the non-profit organizations working within the labor fields and stuff, and the ongoing labor demands that the immigration must fulfill that the Canadian government was not able to meet because of only CRS-based draws. So in this particular update for 2023, they have selected 6 sectors that they will be focusing specifically on if they were to do category-specific draws. The first one is the French language proficiency. If people who have French language proficiency and identified in their express entry profile, they might be picked up based on the draw and the numbers. They are also looking at categories in transportation, in agriculture, STEM occupations, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics occupations. They will be at the top of the helm if the category specific draws are happening. So among all of these, the key takeaway from this is the last element of flexibility that the Canadian immigration was hoping to achieve with the express entry, they have now managed to do that. This would also mean that the CRS draws that we've been looking at, the 480s, the 490s, they may not necessarily be true for specific draws. In this particular case, if they have a category specific draw, say for example, they're looking at information technology professionals, and they are looking for 500 of such spots, they will pick up the top guys with the CRS score that they have within the express entry pool. And mind you, express entry pool is dynamic. It is hard to know who is sitting at what score, and I think you understand this. There are demarcations based on the scores that people have between the 400s and 500s, the 500s and 550, and so on. But you do not know how many people are at particular NOC and what is that further deep dive that people can have in terms of statistics. So the government will have access to that data, and they will be able to pick up people specifically based on the NOC, the tier, the training, education requirement based draws that they can accomplish. What this also means that people with maybe a lower CRS than, say, maybe they're sitting at 400, 450, depending on the NOC that they have, it might be a strong possibility that they get picked up if they are in one of those 6 priority areas that the Canadian government is intending to do these draws in the remaining part of 2023. So please make sure that you evaluate your NOC very carefully and make sure that your profile remains updated for the remainder of the year so that you have the best possible shot at getting picked at in the next ITA